Hello, bonjour, namaste, ni hao, and ohio everybody. What is going on? It is Galeriot here, and welcome back to the YouTube channel once again for another Danmachi light novel video. And today, we have the synopsises for Danmachi's main series volume 20 and Oratoria volume 15 as well. A little bit of a brief description on what to expect from the light novels is here, and we are going to be covering it. We're going to be talking about what to expect from the upcoming light novels, what I am expecting myself from the upcoming light novels, and the direction of the series entirely as it is currently in the light novels. Of course, this video is going to contain spoilers for main series volumes 16 to 19. I'm going to include the Freya Familia stuff as well because season 5 is still ongoing, right? It's just started, right? Still, it's a spoiler territory for a lot of people, right? So volume 16 to 19 will be mentioned in this video, and along with that, Oratoria volume 13 and 14. If you guys haven't read any of those, I would urge you guys to stay away from this video. But of course, if you guys have read it, or you guys generally know what's happening and you still want to watch it, feel free to do so. And of course, if you guys want to enjoy it, remember to leave a like down below, and of course subscribe to the channel. We will be covering these light novels when they do indeed drop. Now, of course, first things first, I am very much looking forward to these light novels. I wasn't expecting them to come out this soon. I mentioned it in yesterday's video. I was personally expecting them to come out in 2025. I thought that Amori would want a little bit more of a break. He's doing other projects. He's working on the anime. He's obviously working on the game as well, the game story as well, of course, Full Into Water and Light. And so I thought, he wants to do some of these side projects. He's obviously also helping out with Vistoria's development as well. We know Vistoria is getting a second season already as well. So obviously I thought, he might be stretched out a little bit. So I thought, we might see a little bit of a break from the light novels, right? It makes sense, and I would respect that decision, to be quite honest. I know a lot of people would get very mad at him, but I would rather he not be burnt out on Danmachi and focus on other projects, or at least not be burnt out on the main series and Oratoria stuff of Danmachi, and allow him to do other projects. This is one of the reasons why I didn't mind him as much doing stuff on Danmimo, because it allowed him to flourish and improve his writing skills through Danmimo as well. So that is my personal opinion. Of course, you guys can have your opinion. Let me know in the comment section down below. I'm curious to see what you guys have to say, but I'm glad that he is still bringing it out. Of course, don't get me wrong, I know he's a machine. It's just impressive to me that he's this much of a machine. Bringing out volume 20 in December, and then of course Oratoria volume 15 in January is impressive as anything. So I'm very much looking forward to it, and I hope he is taking his breaks nonetheless. He's doing a lot right now, obviously, with everything going on. So I hope he is taking his breaks, and he's resting well, taking care of his health. That's the most important thing. I don't want him to burn out like so many other mangakas and light novel writers have done, or just generally have become super unwell. Tagashi with Hunter x Hunter, and of course Yu Yu Hakusho. You know how Tagashi is. He's super unwell most of the time, just because of all these years of just pain over writing the manga and illustrating the manga for Hunter x Hunter and stuff. So for me personally, I would rather Amori take his time rather than having to suffer because he's doing so much. But anyways, that's besides the point, of course, right? That is just my 2 cents on this whole matter. Of course, I know a lot of people will still want more content from him. That's not going to change, but I hope he does take his breaks. That's all I wanted to say. Now, we're going to get into the spoilers, and of course, we're going to take a look at the synopsises. So let's break it down. And of course, this is once again the last disclaimer I'll do before we get into it. This is going to be spoiler territory. It's a light novel video. You should expect it, but let's get into it. Let's see how it goes, and I'm quite curious to see the synopsises. I haven't looked into them that much. They were posted to me personally. I already saw a little bit of it, but not too much. I only saw volume 20. In fact, I didn't even see volume 15 for Oratoria. So we'll start off with the main series for volume 20. It makes a lot of sense. So we're coming off the back of the school, the education district school arc, effectively, that we had, right? And I assume it's going to be a continuation of that. Basically, I think there's going to be I think we're going to do volume 19 and volume 20 as the education district arc, and then we're gonna move on to the next arc with probably Eyes potentially, or somebody else. We'll have to wait and see. Is It Wrong to Try to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon will be released around December 15th, which is perfect. I'm back from vacation, I think on the 13th. Literally, that is so perfect, because I am back from vacation on the 13th or 14th. I'm going to be away from my home, current home, from the 30th to the 13th because I'm going to be visiting family and I'm going to go watch the Formula One, right? So I'm super glad that it's releasing around the 15th of December, which is perfect because the moment I come back, I think leaks will start coming out. And then, of course, December 15th is when we'll officially get everybody, everybody into Volume 20, at least in Japan, of course. Shock. Oratoria versus School District Competition, City Sports Festival, the Oratoria PR is being held. Ooh. So, wait, are we actually going to be doing like an Olympics kind of thing, basically? I can only imagine 100-meter dash. Alan and Bell absolutely dominating the scenes. Of course, nah, I don't think it's going to be that necessarily. I think it's actually going to be more obstacle course based, potential tournaments and stuff like that. There is a good chance we could see, of course, potentially the likes of, Charles versus Leon, the two level 7s going at it as a demonstration of the of their strength and stuff. That would be very interesting. This is the first time I've had this for Amazon. I'm very surprised about that. So of course there is also a special edition coming for this as well, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, a special. Wow, that is Horn and Heath in the Hostess of Fertility outfit. That's some art. That is some art indeed. I'm quite curious about it. There is a booklet as well written by Omori Sensei, it seems like, with the special edition. I'll have to double check if there's any more details about that, but it doesn't seem like it. I wish there was some more information on this, but it basically gives us very little. It's giving me very, very little information about the actual light novel, but it seems like this is the synopsis, and I'm very much curious to see how it's going to pan out. So yeah, it is seemingly a continuation of the school district arc. I assume we're going to probably see Nina also be a part of the Hestia family now. I assume she's going to convert, or at least join the Hestia family. I think that's going to be their only recruit, to be honest, right? I know Hestia in the previous light novel was, in volume 19, was very much in, in a case of like, well, I don't know if we should potentially recruit people because, well, technically the Freya family is under us now, and we're just such a strong familia technically. I can see that, but I think Nina has to join personally. I think Nina is the final piece of the puzzle for the Hestia familia, because you see how they're built, right? Currently, in terms of their main roster, if we're talking about the main roster characters, right? Well, I say main roster, the only characters they have. You have Bell and Ryu as the main DPSs, effectively, the main attackers, of course, right? You have Welf as a sort of support tank kind of character, the blacksmith of the group and stuff. He's the one that will give them the weapons and stuff necessary for the fight. You have Mikoto as a proper support, like a full-on, like, sort of like a, what's the word here? A sort of secondary DPS character kind of thing, basically. Somebody who's a debuffer with the gravity magic and stuff, right? Then you have, of course, Lily as the commander, the tactician, of course. And then you have Haruhime, who's effectively a proper support by boosting everybody's levels up and buffer, right? Nina kind of wraps it up basically by being the healer, the curer of the group, the priestess of the group, you could say, in a way. So I think if you're talking about like core groups, right, that makes a lot of sense. I mean, it's the same with if you look at the Loki familia as well. You have Gareth as the main tank. You have Bet as Bet and Tiona, you could say, as kind of support speed characters. Then you of course have like Riveria as the healer, of course, as well as mage as well, right? Long range mage support, right? You have Finn Eyes as the proper DPSs as well. So all of these groups have like what Omori tries to do is try and round them off with like the main important features you'd see in a group of characters in like a raid party or something, in a video game. So I think Omori is trying to replicate that sort of, and Nina would be the last piece of the puzzle for that raid group of the Hestia familia, effectively, you could say, right? So I could see Nina joining them, of course, right? Like I said, I think Charles versus Leon is very possible, I think, with this as well. I just want to check. We'll come back to that first post I saw as well. I'm very actually excited to take a look at that as well. I want to take a look at the special editions. They must have mentioned something about the special edition here. I'm sure of it. I saw them mentioning something about the special edition. Let me scroll back up a little bit, 1 second. But yeah, I'm very much looking forward to that. I would love to see it be. I've been, there's one thing I've been begging about I've been begging for this in Don Mimo for a very long time, and I'm hoping Don Crow does it as well. I was hoping for like an Olympic sports kind of event event for us to just go through, like long jump, high jump, 100 meters and so on and so forth. I think the perfect opportunity would have been when they were doing the Olympics in Tokyo. I think it would have been a great way to kind of match the two together and stuff, and it would have been great. I know that the Olympics unfortunately took place during the anniversary of Danmachi, right? So it wouldn't have worked necessarily, but they could have done it before the anniversary to kind of lead into the Olympics and stuff. That would have been sick. So seeing it being done in light novel format potentially is, in my opinion, very exciting. I'm sorry. It is very, very exciting. So, okay, the 20th volume will be released in a regular edition and a special edition with a booklet. The special edition booklet will include a short story written by Fujino Omori and a collection of guest Danmachi illustrations by famous illustrators. Please be good. Please have some. I would love to see, like, if they're bringing famous illustrators, I really hope they can bring in some of the big guns as well. I know it's going to be hard to bring in some of the shonen artists and stuff, but it would be amazing to see somebody like Horikoshi of MHA. His art is beautiful. Seeing him do Danmachi stuff would be amazing to see. Potentially having other big names as well. I know it's unlikely, but seeing potentially like Oda and stuff also do Danmachi art would be unbelievable to see. Honestly, it would be insane. So I'd love to see them do that potentially, right? We'll have to wait and see. Now, of course, let's switch focus to volume 15 of Sword Oratoria, because this is also based on already what I can read here. This very number right here, I can already expect something from this that I've been waiting for ever since it was mentioned in volume 18 of the main series. The expedition resumes to the unexplored 60th floor. The time has come when the main story and side story intersect, finally. So it's going to be interesting to see these two things. First and foremost, the unexplored 60th floor. Technically it's explored because good old Zeus and Hera familiars, but they're no longer here, so we can't really say that. But of course, it is going to be interesting because, of course, that was the whole thing in volume 18 with Finn. Obviously, getting information from Royman as a bribe, basically, for not being a part of the familiar war games between Hestia and everybody versus Freya, right? The whole idea was Loki familiar would not join because they'd gotten this important information for the lower floors. And so we're going to see that obviously be involved. And then finally as well, main story and side story intersecting. I'm quite curious to see what this means in all honesty. Will Belle be a part of the expedition potentially, and Hestia familiar, Freya familiar? Is Lufia going to finally appear in the main series? We hope so. But it's good to see them going along with one another on side by side, and of course them intersecting. It's going to be very important, especially with Ice potentially transitioning over from Sword Oratoria to the main series properly as well over time, because that's going to happen as well. We also know that there is one more arc for Lufia as well left over for Sword Oratoria, I should say. So that is also going to be interesting to see how that's going to pan out and stuff, right? I do wonder what the special edition is for Sword Oratoria. It must mention it here, right? So they showed off this as well, right, in terms of like how Lufia has changed. Oh, what happened there? No idea. The 15th edition of the spin-off will also be released in a regular edition and special edition, and the special edition will include an original short story written by Omori Fujino and a treasured setting illustration by Haimaru Kiyotaka. So more illustrations and some side stories are going to be given, which I'm very excited about. I'm quite curious to see what the short stories are. The short stories tend to be canonical as well, so it is going to be interesting to see what that ends up being, of course, right? But yeah, no, I'm very much looking forward to both light novels. I mean, as somebody who's very, very excited about where we're going to be going from here on out, it's going to be good. So volume 15 seems to be okay. I just saw the print length. I didn't even notice we had the print length. 288 pages for 15, 480 pages for, well, that's the special edition. Okay, never mind. The base light novel is 336, so it's actually a smaller light novel if I'm not mistaken. I'm gonna check on my, well, I can search it up here. I was gonna not do it so that people wouldn't get spoiled, but it's a spoiler video. It doesn't matter. Let me see. How many pages was this? This was 416 on Japanese. So yeah, it's not as long as even volume 19. It's actually a very short light novel. So we're gonna see how it all pans out. It's a pretty short light novel. Both light novels are pretty short. In fact, I would say 288 for 15 and 336. It's gonna be a short one. I think it's gonna be just setups and stuff for basically what to expect in you know, 21 and 16, volume 16 specifically. So we'll have to wait and see. Now, one thing that's been extremely nice to see, of course, is just the sheer popularity in Japan still to this day. Volume 20 and 15 are both the bestseller novels at this moment in time. They have achieved number 1 and 2 in the popularity rankings. I said bestsellers. They're first and second in the popularity rankings, which means that people are buying it very much so often, which is good to see. So that is also very, very good. And it's the special editions as well, by the way. But just both of them are the special editions, which is insane to see. I do wonder, can I see maybe like this? How do I see bestseller? Will it mean bestsellers? Most popular in Japanese books, maybe? It doesn't specify it here. Here it is. I mean, yeah, this tells us enough. Number 6 for this, of course. What were they basing it on? I don't know what they were basing it on, the popularity, but number 6 is still very good in just a general sort of book category, of course, as well. And then number 15 for volume 15. Let's see, is there potential? Okay, let's see page 2. Is the regular editions up here as well, or no? Okay, the regular editions aren't. The special editions are just very high up. Fair enough, you know. I respect the Japanese audience for just wanting to buy the special editions. I respect it. I respect it. It's good to see. It's good to see. No, I'm very excited. I'm very, very excited for the upcoming light novels, and I'm very much looking forward to seeing what they end up bringing in terms of the story for sure. But yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. I'm curious to see what you guys have to say. Thank you guys so much for watching the video, of course. Please be sure to leave a like down below. Subscribe to the channel if you want to see more content, and I will see you guys in the next one. Until then, take it easy, everybody. Ciao.